I was once on a date. Somebody asked what you do. And I was like, oh, I own a supplement brand for gay men. And he was like, you're not the cum guy, are you?
How did you come up with the idea of cum and cum gummies? Because I think when I'm telling people about cum, especially to straight audience, they're like, why would someone want more cum?
It was an accident. I was talking with the people who make our formulas. If we add this ingredient, it will help with this. Because we use the specialist company for each of the formulas.
Can you tell me more about how did you come up with the name Friend of Dorothy?
Friend of Dorothy. The name, I guess I've just known it from history, from gay history. Obviously, it's a lot of people don't know. And it's interesting. As a brand, we get probably 6 emails a week from people who know about where the name comes from. So it's to do with Julie Garland in The Wizard of Oz. And ultimately, if you were a friend of her, you were a friend of Dorothy. And it basically meant you were gay. But then I think in around the 60s, people used to use it to identify themselves as gay people. So we're in a cocktail event or whatever. We get chatting over like, oh, are you a friend of Dorothy? To try and understand if you were also gay, because you couldn't just at that point be able to out yourself. I think it was one of like 6 names that were originally on the sort of short list that we could have used. But yeah, I mean, ultimately it's just that. I think most of our customers, I would say, don't know where it comes from. But ultimately, yeah, it was a code back in, I say the 60s, it wasn't the 60s. I think it's going to be earlier, like the 40s, for being gay.
What were the alternative options of the names?
They were all really, really gay. And they were, I don't actually have the list, I think, anymore. I probably do have it somewhere. But they all edged on a little bit of vulgarity. And obviously Bottom was the first product that we came up with as a brand. Then moving on, the second one was Cum, then Cum Gummies, Hard, and so on. And by the time I had designed the packaging for the first 3 products, it made it so much easier choosing a brand name.
How did you come up with the idea of this brand?
So didn't come up with the brand. I came up with a product, which was Bottom. And this is going to sound really bad because it turns into a plug for our main competitor, but Pure for Men, which is an awesome brand. Someone recommended it to me and I'd never heard of it. When I looked for it online, I was like, I wasn't even sure it was what I had been told it was, just because although it's a gay brand, it doesn't, for me, it didn't say anything about being gay. I ordered it. I was taking it for like 4 months and yeah, I thought it was great. But it's, yeah, I think my biggest problem with it is not the actual product. Really love that. And I would say ours is 96% the same. We made some tweaks that we felt were better when we were working with the product creators and the labs and so on. But ultimately, I wanted to make something with the branding where it spoke to gay people. And Bottom was the only name I came up with for it. The actual design came from a Starbucks water bottle. It was like a matte black one. And it had a green circle around the lid in the green Starbucks color. I think I still have the water bottle, but the whole color scheme, my inspiration behind it was a Starbucks water bottle.
And you told me at one point that you were also inspired by Mini Coopers and the color scheme.
No, well, sort of. It wasn't Mini Coopers. It was actually, I'm a big fan of Doctor Who.
Okay.
And in the Stephen Moffat era, they brought back the Daleks, and the Daleks, they got an upgrade and they did them all in bright colors, like the orange, the green, and so on. So it came from that. I thought it was super cool. It got loads of hate online. And then when I was searching it, I came across Mini Coopers, how they did them around the same time in all these bright, vibrant colors.
Mhm.
And then I just took what I'd already done for the bottom pouch, and I was like, okay, well, copy them sort of colors. They worked really well together.
If the first product is bottom, it feels like there should be a product for top and verse guys. So tell me more about how this all developed further.
Okay, so first product was bottom, and within 2 weeks of coming up with bottom, I was already designing the pouches and formulas for Cum and Hard. The Cum gummies I wasn't working on. Then I knew I didn't want to advertise online in standard methods. I wanted to work predominantly with gay people. So using influencers, gay influencers, to promote our products. And I realized I needed to create something that was easy for them to show. So I came up with the water bottles. You remember them? And again, it was the exact same design based around the Daleks and the Mini Cooper. We had bottom, top. We had a
Verse.
hard one, verse, and gay.
Yep.
People loved them. They were expensive to make because we used a really cool coated powder, which made them expensive to sell. Anyway, hard. No, there was a point, actually, I remember now. There was a point where hard was called top.
Okay.
I killed it because I didn't like the 3 letters.
Okay.
Just top on the pouches didn't work.
There is more space to fill, yeah.
There's more space. And I know cum, that has 3 letters, but because of the shape of the letters, it just sort of worked. But yeah, that's why top became hard. Verse, I was just never able to come up with a product. I did think of combining husk and hard. But when I was working with the people who make all the formulas, the doses would have been crazy. I remember first time around in our early days with bottom, we had people taking 6 capsules a day, and we've refined it down to that they can now take 3. But when I tried to put bottom and hard together, people were having to take 9 capsules a day.
Wow.
And obviously I worked with different influencers and so on, got them to try, give us feedback and so on. And the one thing we got was, it's a lot. Like 9, you feel like you've had a breakfast before you've even started. So yeah, so we just sort of got rid of the idea of combining it and created them into second products. I've always been very conscious of people having to take loads of them.
Yep.
And I think we have nearly 2,000 reviews on Trustpilot now. Out of that, 6 are maybe bad. And one of the first negative reviews we got, I remember I was reeling, and they were like, you have to take 6 a day. And it was so bad because you have to take 6 a day, which is what pushed me to try and condense it down. In answer to your first question, verse just doesn't work you can take them together, but putting them together into one capsule was just too big. They were massive.
How did you come up with the idea of calm? Because I think when I'm telling people about calm, especially to straight audience, they're like, why would someone want more calm?
It was an accident. I was talking with the people who make our formulas, and they were like, well, if we add this ingredient, it will help with this. Because we use the specialist company for each of the formulas. They were helping me create the formulas. And they were like, well, if we put this in, this will be the effect of it. I remember I ended up down a rabbit hole for 4 days reading about it. It's a difficult one. I think as a product, it's the one I relate to the least. And I'm always a bit reserved talking about it. Whenever I talk to people about our brand, it's the product I probably shy away from the most. I would say I'm quite reserved when it comes to talking about stuff like that. We refined the formula about 12 months ago, where we built on from what we had originally created. We were going to launch a second product, which was more magnesium based. And we decided actually we could get the 2 into 1. We came up with Cum 2.0, which we've sort of rolled back a little bit now. And we just have the Cum with all of it in. But I would say, especially looking at the feedback we get, it's a great product. I would say it's the one that most of our customers resonate with, which is weird. It's certainly whenever we track sales or influencers, link clicks and so on, it's the one that stands out the most online. Funny story regarding it. I was once on a date. Somebody asked what you do. And I was like, oh, I own a supplement brand for gay men. And he was like, you're not the cum guy, are you? And I was like, what? The cum guy? I mean, I don't want to be called the cum guy. And I think after that was when I started shying away from that product.
And how did you come up with Cum Gummy?
Going back to what I said about hard and bottom, it's a lot of stuff to be taken a day.
Yeah.
And we have so many people that take the whole range. Like literally we'll be taking 3 of our four products at once. And in the early days, I took bottom, hard, and cum for a little while. Oh, this is too much. Literally, I was like gagging, taking them in the mornings. But putting them in the jelly, I love them. It was just more about stopping taking the pills and making it a bit more enjoyable for people. Now we've launched Muscle and Party as well. I know you take a lot of creatine. And I used to take it, but I hated the faffing around of it. I started taking the gummies of another brand, and I liked them. And yeah, I just thought, oh, well, we should definitely add this into it. Do you remember when we got the first samples through of Muscle? Mm-hmm. Put them in the car, because I was like, oh, as I'm going to the gym, I'll take them. I get in the car and I'll take 2 now. I get to the gym and I take another 2. Now I come out of the gym and I'm like, oh, I'm like ready to go, man. And I was on 6 for the day. Yeah, anyway, but I just personally prefer that to taking the pills.
Tell me more about the unique packaging. How do you come up with this iconic can design?
I was looking at doing bottles, which everyone else does, etc. We did, I don't know if you remember, or you will remember, the tubs with the cum gummies in, which I liked, but they were very heavy. They were plastic, which I absolutely hate using. So yeah, I went for metal. The first one we did was hard and cum. We've just launched the bottom one now. So we've made it refillable. But yeah, it was basically just to get away. I mean, it's supposed to be refillable. It's possible I brought, so you can refill it. Whereas these ones don't refill yet. This one's not even launched yet. I don't think a single customer's seen this one yet. And then you came up that you wanted them side printed so that they can all sit next to each other. And also they can go in your bathroom cabinet.
I think the best part of this is we are our own customers. Mm-hmm. So we understand what are the issues, what are the problem. So for me, the biggest issue is if I open my kitchen cupboard, there are like 10 different vitamins in all different shapes and forms. Mm-hmm. And I think when we were designing the latest modification of this, I really wanted it to have the side. I want my supplements to all look nice and neat. Tell me more about the success. What are the most successful products so far?
Interesting. Okay, there's 3, and in different ways. We can sell cum all day long.
Okay.
Oh my God. I hope my mother doesn't see this. We can sell cum all day long, or cum gummies and so on. I think it's the easiest product to sell because it gets people's attention so quickly. Problem is, people get it, they take it for a while, and then you reach a maximum level.
Okay.
Yeah, that you're going to ejaculate, or that you get to a certain point where your orgasms are the same every day. After 5 days, you don't notice any more increase because you're just at that level.
I see.
And then as you stop taking it, it will go down and sort of plateau. And again, you probably don't realize. And I think that's the problem with cum, is you get it, you take it, you get the benefits. And then if you stop taking it, it gradually wears off. And then that just becomes your new baseline. Okay. Whereas bottom is the most successful in long-term customers. Yeah. Very first product that we brought to market, in the early days, it was just me. The factory was making it, shipping it to my house. I was packaging them and shipping them all out and so on. And I remember being really excited. Like the orders started coming through. It was great. We still have customers now that bought in the first week of us launching on bottom. They take it all the time.
Yep.
And some of them are, so I live just outside London. Some of them are like neighbors. They live in the same town as me. And every time I see the order coming through, I'm like, oh my God, that's my neighbor buying my product.
Yeah.
So I would say the most successful as a business is bottom. Following on from that is somewhere between these 2, hard or daddy. I think I'm biased because daddy would probably be my favorite of them.
Tell me, how did you come up with Daddy Stamina product?
First of all, I mean, I guess I am a dad. So I'm a dad of 3 kids. One that we obviously have our daughter together, and then I have 2 18-month-old twins. Having 18-month-old twins as a single parent is the hardest thing I've ever done. It was exhausting. Like, I look back on our daughter and I think, oh my God, that was a breeze. Daddy Stamina, I was exhausted from week 2 all the way until yesterday. But yeah, I've always been really struggled with the 2 twins and my tiredness and so on. I didn't want to have sex because I was like so tired. I didn't want to do things with people. I then started looking into supplements that would help because none of ours were designed for anything like that. Anyway, so there was 4 different supplements I was taking, and I would say in 6 days, I noticed the difference. My urge to nap completely went away. By 6 weeks into taking it, it was like a completely different person. Nothing had changed other than these supplements. In fact, I would say by that point, parenting was getting more difficult. My kids were getting into crawling and so on. So when I probably should have been getting tired, I was getting less. I was feeling better. Yeah, I decided we should bring it into our range because when I'd done the research, then when I went back and started working with the laboratory, there was other stuff we could add into it, which would also help with sexual drive and so on. One of the main products of it is sea kelp, which is great for colon care, which when you get to 40 is something when you have to start going to the doctors and getting checked and so on, which no one wants. No one thinks, oh, well, this is something I should be taking care of. So it just sort of felt like a natural progression.
How successful is Friend of Dorothy so far?
Crazy. It's been mental. So our first year we launched in May, and that was actually the year that my twins were born. Maybe 3,000 orders. But it was strong. Like, it was strong sales for the first year, but it was a half a year. Because my twins were born, I pretty much had to stop working for a while, and that's when you started to come on board and so on. We've just finished our second year, and the numbers are mental in all areas, all countries. Like, it's even our customer base, 80% are in the USA, which is we're a USA-based company. We've never gone to the USA to even plug it. We started getting so many orders from there. I'd say 10% is the UK. We get a lot of orders as well from places I never thought we would, like Saudi Arabia. We get daily orders coming in from there.
So far you have 12 different products. Are you planning to launch more?
Yes, we have 3 in the pipeline.
Okay.
But we're not going to talk about them yet. The problem is, I found, like, when we talked about the products before on social media, etc., we got a lot of feedback. But people quite often take their feedback as it's the only way to go. I think even you were dubious about doing Daddy Stamina. I think, how long would you say it took me to convince you that we should do Daddy Stamina? I think it took a month.
Yeah.
Or at least it felt like we were arguing over it for a month.
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah, it's one of the best-selling products as well.
People love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. So people have to wait and see.
But overall, the strategy is to build the supplements across the lifestyle of a modern gay man who takes care of himself.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be about sex.
Yeah.
And I think it took us a while to adjust to that thinking. Like, when we started, it felt all about sex. And I think that was one of the benefits of when you came on board.
Because I'm a sex expert.
Yeah, well, or sex pest. No, what I created in the early days was all sex. Apart from the Friend of Dorothy logo, it was all sex. Like, the word cum appeared 4 times on the front of every cum-based product, which meant every time we did do an advert, and we lost, 3 Instagram accounts because of posting that, we would get tagged by social media companies as inappropriate and so on. And when you came on board, you changed us to a sexual wellness company rather than a sex vitamin company. And I think there's a big difference, which has allowed us to move into the likes of Handsome, Muscle, Party. And I think it's going to be really good for what we go with in our next product.
So far we started with sexual wellness, right? And it was our, entrance to the market. But now we're moving a little bit to the fitness, to recovery, to anti-aging.
How would you think we do that with staying true to our brand? Yeah. In as much as I would say our customers expect our brand, our product names to tie in with gay men.
Mhm.
It's quite hard choosing new products because we've
Yeah.
thought of lots of new products. And one of the things I know I struggle with is, with Handsome, we really struggled with that to actually name it. And it's an amazing product, but the naming of Handsome was it was difficult.
I want the product to tell me exactly what it does. I think why we are winning right now, right, is that we are saying that CAM is for increasing semen volume, right? We don't call it zinc, vitamin C, ashwagandha, maca root, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're exactly saying what it does. And that's what we need. Our customers want to make sure that, it's simple. He understands what they need.
I think the one thing that we do a lot better than, because there is some other sexual wellness brands out there and they're very good.
Yeah.
There's Popstar, Pure for Men, and so on. Great brands, great products. The thing that we do different to these is one, our packaging. Yeah. But two, our product names. They really speak to gay men.
Yeah.
And I can't think of any other, not just gay supplement brands, but any other brand that do that as well as us. I think I'd be super worried about moving away from that thing.
From our identity, right?
From our identity.
Yeah. So I guess just sticking to what we know we're doing well, it's tricky to make it relatable to gay men, but also to make it a bit more quirky and fun. There's so many gay men that still don't know about us.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope that this podcast that we're launching now will help us to be more visible, to be more seen.
I really, really want to stay true to our identity, which is we're a great gay brand created by gay people for gay people. And life would be a lot easier if not easier, that's the wrong word. We would have so many more customers if we stepped away from being so blatantly gay. We did some trials on Amazon when we removed gay things from, or certainly images where there's two men and you can tell they're gay. When we removed them from our Amazon store, sales went up, but it didn't feel right with the brand, which is why we ended up putting them back, etc. It's why whenever we work with consultants, we always go for people who are gay. There's Dr. Carlton, who gives a lot of advice on our different products, who is super big in the gay community and gay medical community especially, and other people as well that we've worked with. It is nice to sort of keep it in the community.
Do you have any interesting stories of people finding out about our brand and our company?
Oh, two. One, we were at our daughter's birthday party the other day, and then, I could have died. You started talking to one of the straight dads about it, and he knew about it.
Yeah.
That was cringe. I was like, I don't even know what to do. How does this guy know about our Bottom products?
Well, I supply our daughter's classmate parents with our products. So I went to the parents' gathering. It was the Christmas one. And obviously you discuss what is everyone doing.
No, you don't. Why did you
I said
them?
we are doing Calm Hard Bottom. And the dads were amazed by it. And I started giving them away to dads at my school.
Straight dads.
Well, what's the problem with that?
Yeah, no, it's right. You're
I
right.
have actually a funny story with the dad. He told me that after Christmas, everyone got sick, like the daughter, the wife, but the dad wasn't sick because he was taking Cam Gummies, raspberry Cam Gummies. And because there was zinc and vitamin C, that's one of the key ingredients.
Yeah.
They said that he was still not sick.
Just fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he loves them now. I gave him another top. They went up.
You realize how we're about, this is why we keep selling out. You keep giving it to all of our child's parents at school.
Yeah.
Okay. And quick question. Cum Gummies. Any other flavors you want to do?
Well, we need to kind of optimize the thing now.
I really want to try mint ones.
Mint cum?
Mint Cum Gummies. I think it would be great.
I don't know.
No? Okay. I think it would be
fast.
great. I've spoken to the laboratories that make it, and it can be done. And we should probably make some samples and see. It'll either be the best thing ever or the worst thing ever.
Okay.
So we
You
should
know
give it a
better.
whirl. I do know better. It's about time you
If it's
realize.
success, I'll tell everyone this was my idea.
Had you realized that, we wouldn't have got divorced. All right.